Sheila Jackson Lee and John Whitmire. Being based in Houston, I can tell you that I had the privilege to be around both political candidates, like face-to-face, in person. I've been to both of their events, and I can see that there's a stark difference between both of them as political candidates. Sheila Jackson Lee does exceptionally well in the House of Representatives, and we're going to take the position that that's where she needs to stay. Right? John Whitmire appears to be tough on crime. A lot of people in Houston, they are crying out for someone to do something about the crime that has significantly risen in Houston. And I'm going to just flat out tell you the truth. John Whitmire has the money and Sheila Jackson Lee doesn't. And that is important to know and understand, because it is money that wins political elections, not people. That's a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow. A lot of people think that, hey, you can go in there and cast your vote, and you know the people with the most votes wins. No way, man. The person that has the most money, who can put out the most advertising, can get the most donors, big donors, not just some guy that owns a sandwich shop. And no disrespect to the guys that own sandwich shops. We need you, we love you, but it's gonna take more than your money to get a person into office. That's just the truth of the matter. When Sheila Jackson Lee had her coming out for mayor, as a candidate for mayor, running on the post downtown Houston, you know, it was a great affair. I think that it was great that the people were there. However, there's a difference in the type of voters that support Sheila Jackson Lee versus the type of voters who support John Whitmire. When I look at the voters who support Sheila Jackson Lee, I see everyday people. I see people who ride the metro. I see people who may be struggling with their rent, which is a big thing in Houston, Texas right now. People, you know, struggling not to get evicted from their homes and different things like that. But when I look at Senator John Whitmire, when I go to his function, I see a totally different crowd. I see a crowd of bankers. I see a crowd of people who own oil and gas. I see a crowd of people who are essentially business-minded, business entrepreneur people with multi-million dollars sitting in their bank account right now, that at the drop of a dime could, hey, say, listen, I can give you X amount of thousands of dollars on the spot. Just let me know when you need me to send you this check. Or you see what I'm saying? Like that is a stark difference between Sheila Jackson Lee's voter base than Senator John Whitmire's voter base. It's money. It boils down to money. You know, long gone are the days of being good-natured and good-hearted and being altruistic and things like that. That's for children. That's for the naive. That's for the immature. In the world of adults, or in the adult world, things cost money. Everything costs money. Everything from the buttons on the campaign stickers to the billboards that are running $10,000 a month. You see what I'm saying? To the radio advertising, to the TV advertising, to the social media advertising, to the t-shirts, to the hats, to the gloves, the watches, the socks. You know, everything costs money. It costs money. And although I firmly believe that Sheila Jackson Lee is a strong woman who has done an exceptional amount of great deeds for the city of Houston in her career since like the 90s. You know what I mean? Like, that's longer than some people have been alive. You know what I mean? It's, again, still not enough to garnish the support, or the type, more importantly, the type of support that Senator John Whitmire has. You see what I'm saying? So again, we don't speak ill against any one political candidate because we don't lean towards any political candidate. We just simply look at the math. You see what I'm saying? And look at the numbers, data, facts, and statistics. That's what matters the most for us here at VEDA Magazine. You see what I'm saying? I will say this, though, and this would be considered a negative. not towards Sheila Jackson Lee, but because of the situation that just recently came out, maybe about a couple weeks ago, you know, she cussed out a staffer. Right? So I know as a journalist, and listen, I understand people are people, right? Like whatever we see on TV, that's not the real person. We understand that. But again, someone of her stature, someone of her experience should already understand that the camera or the microphone is always on. This is not a beat her up about it. You see what I'm saying? But we do understand that at that level, especially being on the federal level, you should understand that the mic and the camera is always on. And so I know that if I sit down and I look at her photo, I can no longer just see this pristine image. You know what I'm saying? I don't see that pristine image anymore. It's unfortunate. What I see is, yes, she's done a lot. She's got a lot of money brought into Houston. However, she still cussed out her staffer. You know what I'm saying? And if it wasn't for social media having the sanctions that they put on you for using foul language, I would repeat what she said. But I can tell you this much here. You can pretty much Google that conversation she had with this particular staffer who was disgruntled, obviously. And that will kind of, like, man, that was messed up. You know what I mean? Like, come on, you should know better than that. But this is not to say that John Whitmire is squeaky clean either, but at least when I look at him, I don't have a picture in my mind of him cursing out a staffer. You see what I'm saying? As far as I'm concerned, the only picture that I have of John Whitmire is money. That is it. Money. And as far as political campaigns go, that is pretty much the only thing that matters. It's money.